This is The Tea Mind with me, Erica Moore. It's a space to slow down, step out of the noise and see things a little more clearly. Some episodes are conversations about the moment that clicked and what changed afterwards. Others are shorter clarity sessions, just a few minutes to come back to yourself and think clearly in the middle of a full day. Because when the usual pace stops working and everything starts to feel a little unclear, the answer isn't more input, it's creating a moment to see what is already there. And at the end, I'll share a simple tea ritual that you can try yourself. Thanks for joining me, and I invite you to pause for tea with me just for a few moments out of your day to day. I've been thinking a lot about overperformance and how there's so much pressure on society as a whole to just go all the time, and that real pressure and striving for performance at all times, and then reflecting on how that actually works in reality when we are human beings rather than machines, and reflecting that it's much more sensible to move towards a more sustainable way of living, more in rhythm with the harmony of nature and the seasons. And I've been really inspired by Dr. Pippa Grange's new book. It's called Life Reclaimed, The Shift to Regenerative Performance. And I just really, everything she says in that book really struck a chord. So let's get started and just check in with ourselves. If you are brewing along with me today, then welcome. I invite you to brew any herbal infusion that you're drawn to today. I am drinking chillaxing chamomile, which is just whole chamomile flowers, really lovely and intoxicating sort of natural sweetness, almost honey-like. And chamomile's one of those teas that people either love or hate. It's a bit like rooibos. But if you're not a fan yet, I would encourage you to try different ones, different kinds, because like all tea and herbal infusions, not all teas are created equal. There is so much difference between them all. So if you're used to drinking mushed up chamomile in a tea bag, really invite you to try some whole leaf teas and experience the difference for yourself. So whatever tea you're drawn to today, just take a little moment to sit or stand wherever you are, just feeling your connection to the earth, just to ground yourself a little bit, and maybe just take a deep breath in through your nose and just letting go of any tension as you just let your shoulders drop on your exhale. Just noticing how you're feeling today, just really checking in with yourself. And then just having a little breath of your tea, just smelling the aroma, and notice what comes up for you today. So in Dr. Pippa Grange's book, her idea is all about trying to reclaim your life and moving to what she calls regenerative performance. Because so many people are just working so hard in every part of their life that burnout is becoming more and more common. But this doesn't happen often. This doesn't happen overnight. There's often lots of warning signs that have been thrown up along the way for months or even years. And if you're not listening to those warning signs, then you're just going to inevitably crash at some point. So burnout is an involuntary process of moving away from what's not working for you anymore. So if you just reflect on your own life, and perhaps you are addicted to the speed and the pressure, the constant go, perhaps you get a buzz from that, and you don't really know how to stop and rest and switch off, or you feel guilty when you do. Maybe you regularly close off your feelings and ignore your body's warning signs so that you can just get more done. And hands up, I am guilty of all of these, but because I'm trying to anchor my little pauses for tea throughout the day, I can start to be aware, and I'm much more in tune with how my body is, and which is why I've created this whole tea mind system, mostly for myself, so that I can get my life back under control again. But maybe also that you've got that inner voice that's really critical whenever you try to do something that doesn't look like productivity goals or something like that. So yes, if your life's pace and pressure have outweighed your biological ability to cope, then you are headed for some sort of burnout. And we often just keep going under the mistaken illusion that we can maintain this maximum strain forever and ever. But at some points we just stretch ourselves too thin and we cannot cope with it anymore. And I really think that it's a societal failure. We need to look at this on a much larger level, not just on an individual level, because it's on the rise, it's a real cultural phenomenon, and we're overperforming in not just work but also at home and socially. It's almost like we're treating ourselves like machines, but this life does not suit us. We are biological creatures and we are human beings, and we can't always be on the go all the time. So I think it's time that we really started to shift to a more sustainable pattern and start to live in harmony with nature, with the seasons, with the natural rhythms and the ebbs and flows of life, and really start to listen and respect our bodies as well, because that's how we're going to sustain ourselves and sustain our success and our output, whatever we want from life, for the long term. And really nature does hold the blueprint for this sustainable way of living. We're fundamentally part of the natural world that's all around us, and it's our moving away from these instinctive biological cycles that's really led us to this collective feeling of burnout. So what can we do about it? Well, first of all, rest and renewal are really important to performance. If you look at top athletes, top sports performers, anyone that's performing at the peak of their skills, then rest and renewal are a key part of their success. So I think accepting that in modern culture and slowing down, listening to our bodies and our minds, to what we actually need, are really, really important. And I think it's really important to stop treating these physical warning signs as things that we just have to ignore and get over, and use them as data that we need to listen to, and recognise that balance isn't a weakness, but it's a necessity for us to have a really good, long, sustainable, happy life. So as you're sipping your tea today, just become aware of your own body, and perhaps just have a little think about where you could be confusing constant pressure with meaningful progress. And perhaps just have a little check in with yourself and see where perhaps you might have been ignoring some signals from your body or from your mind. Things that you've been explaining away rather than actually listening to. And then I wonder if there's maybe a small, just one decision that would respect the actual capacity that you've got in your life right now, rather than just powering on trying to do everything. And it maybe looks like, and I guess this is something I am trying to take into my own life as well, but maybe it's ending a work day on time, maybe one day this week at least, and setting those boundaries in place. And I know that can be hard when you're working from home, but it is possible. Just maybe writing it down, really committing to it. Or maybe it's going for a walk without your phone. Just something that's really going to start you on that path to reclaim your life and your performance. Or maybe it's just deciding to leave one thing unfinished on purpose. So this is a really something I'm going to take forward to this week. I'd really recommend that you do check out Dr. Pippa Grange's new book, Life Reclaimed. I'll put a link to it in the show notes below. But as you're pausing for tea today, just take a little moment and tune in to your body and listen to what it's trying to tell you. What do you need more of? What do you need less of? And where are you in that natural cycle of things, within a day, within a year, within a season? Really lean into that And this is what success looks like in the long term, leaning into your own biological rhythms and starting to get your life back so you can be a little bit happier every day. So I'm going to try, and I'm going to enjoy the rest of my chamomile, and I hope you enjoy your tea this week. If something in this episode stayed with you, don't try to change everything all at once. Just start with a moment. Make some tea, let it steep, take a breath, and notice what's actually there. And from there, choose whatever matters next for you. This is the Tea Mind. From presence to clarity, so you can live with intention.